I am waving the white flag here. Oh wow, did this video get me in a whole lot of trouble. I do understand where the people were coming from that said I was just hating on SonicFox, that I'm jealous of Sonic's success, that I'm 10 times worse, and all of the above. That's completely okay. Because when you put things on the internet that critiques anybody, nobody will know the previous context of that critique. Or when I'm just kind of making a humorous video because I'm a Scorpion main defending a Scorpion main. But it really highlighted the dichotomy of man. I was called a SonicFox glazer and meat rider so many times when I said these things in previous videos. Let me show you.
And what better player to start our top 5 than SonicFox? And let's be real, we know who holds all the top 5 spots. NinjaKilla made his first online appearance after becoming the best MKX player in the world, and the community was buzzing after seeing his performance against SonicFox in Mortal Kombat X. It is worth noting that SonicFox had been focusing on other fighting games for quite some time, still well regarded as the best Mortal Kombat X player of all time.
So yeah, I feel like that shows. I have always been a big Sonic supporter through and through. My comment section tends to absolutely adore NinjaKilla and not really like SonicFox. But that's honestly the greatest place to start when we talk about SonicFox versus NinjaKilla, who is actually the GOAT. But it was actually SonicFox that stole the GOAT status from a different player back in the day, just like NinjaKilla is challenging SonicFox at this present time. 13-0. It is infamous at this point. You can look at so many popular YouTube channels that don't deal with fighting games that have talked about this incident. SonicFox had already won plenty in MKX before the 13-0 happened, but it was against Perfect Legend, who at that time would have been the Mortal Kombat GOAT. Perfect Legend won 2 EVO championships in Mortal Kombat 9. For reference on that, NinjaKilla only has 1 offline EVO championship and then 1 online EVO. So yeah, Perfect Legend is still on par with NinjaKilla, but people tend to forget about him. So trust me when I say history repeats itself. People that think NinjaKilla is the greatest of all time now aren't really doing it in bad faith, because all of us did this with SonicFox. It's just kind of the way generations of gaming go. We have the legends of the community that eventually get phased out slowly but surely by younger players, whether that be the legends retire or the younger players are just slightly more innovative and video games evolve. But there's a reason these days that Perfect Legends still isn't in the GOAT conversation, unlike SonicFox, where it's lasted multiple MK titles. It was EVO 2019. That win right there solidified SonicFox in a new tier that no player had ever been in before. It's not to say that SonicFox hadn't won before that. It's just SonicFox was now the first player with at least 3 EVO titles and had done it in 2 different Mortal Kombat games. On top of that, Perfect Legend kind of fell out of the community atmosphere in talking about GOATs because Sonic won it right away, made sure to keep asserting dominance off the incredible, probably never to be beat run that was Sonic in Mortal Kombat X. If you weren't in the community back then, people essentially just watched tournaments hoping Sonic would lose. It seemed more guaranteed Sonic would win in MKX than the Chiefs dynasty today in American football or the Patriots of the past. It was basically a guaranteed lock where the entire crowd would erupt anytime SonicFox lost. I know it's not Mortal Kombat, but a great example of this is in Injustice 2, Honeybee's pop-off.
Recovery! Honeybee! No, the drum! He got it after all! Honeybee makes winners finals! Back-to-back Honeybee in his first MKX EVO sent SonicFox to losers, and here he is again 2 years later, sending the Fox to losers in Injustice 2. The Flash, God Lord himself, getting the job done.
The reason that was so intense and why it's one of the best pop-offs in fighting game history is because we were coming off the MKX run where Sonic was essentially unbeatable. So that put Sonic above Perfect Legend and established as the GOAT. This is where NinjaKilla silently creeps onto the scene. NinjaKilla, being younger than SonicFox and not able to travel, was just competing in MKX, never really playing Injustice 2, at least not playing seriously. NinjaKilla is the best MKX player of all time. There's nuance to that take though, because if you want to say who was the best MKX player of all time when it was competitively active, meaning the game was featured at EVO and other things like that, you would have to say SonicFox. It's the nuance that NinjaKilla essentially took the game to the maximum possible skill ceiling, whereas SonicFox took the game to the highest skill ceiling when the game actually mattered. Aside from establishing how SonicFox became the GOAT over Perfect Legend, there's more to the reason as to why I brought up the 13-0. A lot of people compare this set by NinjaKilla and SonicFox on MKX Online to SonicFox's 13-0 win against Perfect Legend. Essentially a passing of the torch moment where it looked like the GOAT might fall to the up-and-coming star. I see that a lot, and I don't think it's really that comparable. Perfect Legend was actively competing in MKX. It was the current title for Mortal Kombat, where Perfect Legend was trying to ride off the waves of MK9's success. NinjaKilla was challenging SonicFox when SonicFox was currently playing Injustice 2. If you remember, because NRS typically releases in the spring, we never got a 2017 EVO for Mortal Kombat X. Meanwhile, NinjaKilla's actively changing the game between 2017 and 2019 when MK11 released. So that's why it already felt different than the 13-0 situation, but there were three major things that stopped Sonic from being dethroned by the new rising superstar, CEO 2019. This was huge for Sonic in terms of remaining as the GOAT, because by winning the tournament and having NinjaKilla place 4th, it silenced everybody. If you weren't around at that time, it's kind of funny to think about this now. People were almost calling NinjaKilla a little bit of a fraud because of NinjaKilla's insane MKX play. Again, the most technical, best gameplay anyone had ever seen. It was kind of expected that Ninja would just go out there and place first. And on top of that, it's kind of like your hero let you down. People were tired of Sonic winning everything, and even NinjaKilla couldn't do it. The second one would be EVO 2019. Although Ninja didn't compete, SonicFox went ahead and won it, so solidifying as the GOAT. Again, different than Perfect Legend, a whole new tier of player. But the nail in the coffin, and if we're looking at these prize pools, you can tell which tournaments are the most important. Final Kombat 2020 Grand Finals matchup. When it mattered most, every player had nearly a year under their belts. SonicFox beat NinjaKilla in Grand Finals head-to-head and didn't even have to sweat for it in a 3-1 set. So this actually started the time period between this moment and then EVO 2021 online when Ninja won it, where I'm gonna be honest with you, people always knew Ninja was insane, but the hype had kind of crashed a little bit from MKX, seeing as Sonic had essentially stopped Ninja from winning in anything major. It would be disingenuous of me to not point out that Ninja did beat Sonic in tournaments, beating Sonic at Northeast Championship 20 in 2019 and at DreamHack Montreal in 2019, both of which Ninja took 3-0 against Sonic's Collector. The issue with this is the prize pools, because it made it seem at that time that Ninja was essentially just taking tournaments off SonicFox, where Sonic was testing a new character in low-stakes tournaments, but when it came to big ones where Sonic used the main, Ninja couldn't take them. On top of that, Zombat won the first pro competition online for MK11, where Sonic got 2nd and NinjaKilla came in 4th. So I'm sure it seems like I'm just riding Sonic right now, but there is a tone shift in this video. What? A man can't eat some meat while making a video. I see how it is. Okay, I'll put it away. NinjaKilla had essentially established himself as the people's champ. 1, everybody loves an underdog. But 2, NinjaKilla was quite possibly the most robotically good MK player anyone had ever seen. Watching both the MKX gameplay and when NinjaKilla was the top-ranked MK11 player on like 2 separate accounts. If you were around back then, it was essentially a Heidi or like a Smurf account for NinjaKilla climbing all the way back up to the top ranks with a different character aside from Liu Kang. I think it was Jackie Briggs, if I recall correctly. NinjaKilla essentially never dropped optimals, and when I say optimals, it's not the optimals that everybody else was going for. Ninja would essentially make new optimals that 99.9% of players could not land online to save their lives, and essentially changed the game, and it was fun to watch NinjaKilla essentially never lose online in Kombat League. I still think Ninja has the record record for the longest Kombat League win streak. It could be him or Rewind, I kind of forget. It's somewhere in the 200s, like 230 to 250, maybe even more at this point. Like watching AI play before AI was a thing, like Ninja don't miss. He don't miss anything. It's crazy. It's literally, when people tell me Ninja's the best player in the world, I watch the gameplay and I can kind of get behind it. Like even Sonic doesn't play that way. It's robotically good. It's so good. And so then we have the hiatus of SonicFox from MK11 where Sonic stopped playing, and then Sonic did get like 6th place in 2022's EVO for MK11, placing behind the twins. Although Sonic wasn't playing actively, that is still a blemish, placing behind the twins in that EVO. Ninja shows up in 2023 and topples the twins. Let it be known how serious of an achievement that is. Rewind tried for multiple years, coming so close but never able to do it. Do you remember how hype everyone got when Rewind just got to grand finals by beating one of the twins in losers finals?
Is Rewind gonna risk a wake up? No, but Sonic is gonna keep the United States alive!
Anti-air as clean as they come!
Becoming only the 2nd player to beat a twin offline.
And you can see how much this means to the people in the crowd. Rewind, the story of... This crowd has been honestly chomping at the bit to do a USA chant.
That's how hyped people were to see the twins, who were just winning for 2 or 3 years straight, never losing. It was just them two in grand finals. That's how hyped people were just to see a different grand finals that Rewind inevitably lost. So Ninja coming back in 2023 and kind of doing it with ease. I mean, the grand final set was close, but it just kind of shocked everybody. It's just like Ninja comes back for one singular tournament and does this to the twins. He must be the GOAT. Is that really fair to SonicFox? Maybe not, but I have to be equal with the way I say things, because in MKX, I said NinjaKilla couldn't be the best because nobody was competing. Well, people were still competing in MK11. It was still the current NRS game, so to stop NinjaKilla from taking that title because Sonic wasn't competing anymore would just be dumb. It was still the active NRS game. So a couple of the comparisons people make. People like to say SonicFox tier hunts and NinjaKilla does not, which makes NinjaKilla better. I would say you just aren't familiar with Sonic's past. I mean, yeah, Sonic played Acidic Alien to win a grand finals. Sonic played Katana in the 13-0 set versus Perfect Legend and won a bunch with Katana, but SonicFox essentially was the only Aaron Black main. Before SonicFox, Aaron Black was not considered good at all. Oh yeah, Sonic also played Joker, who was pretty good for the game's lifespan, but definitely not the #1 character in the game. And NinjaKilla kinda skirts by with people not realizing Liu Kang in MKX is the best character in the game, just nobody knew how to play it like that, which is why I don't knock on it, because nobody would have known if it weren't for NinjaKilla. But then Liu Kang in MK11 is top 10 for sure, and then Ninja used Fujin, arguably top 3 or top 1 in MK11 to win EVO. Then in this recent Mortal Kombat 1 tourney, again, Ninja picked a top tier character, but so did Sonic. The argument that Sonic was ducking Ninja feels weird because Sonic put it all on the line playing against NinjaKilla in MKX. Sonic came into it knowing Ninja was the current best player, and Sonic kinda got what Sonic knew would happen. When losing that, everybody starts dogpiling that Sonic isn't the best anymore. Sonic should have realistically never played the set and just stood there as the GOAT of all time. It's really good sportsmanship that that set happened, and I'm so happy we got to see it. So I can't say Sonic was ducking NinjaKilla ever. I just think, yeah, the games didn't line up. Plus on top of that, NinjaKilla did not compete in 2019 EVO for MK11, and I know that's not Ninja's fault, he couldn't travel, but that was MK11's most important EVO in the 4-year lifespan of the game. You kind of have to be there. And again, they played on the biggest stage at Final Kombat in 2020. So if it's not already obvious, I think SonicFox is still the GOAT, but there is a route where NinjaKilla can take that spot. I'd like to say that the only reason that even got opened back up was 2023 EVO and MK11, and SonicFox essentially slammed the door back shut. Winning that first big tournament, beating NinjaKilla in grand finals, that was a huge statement. It is now 3 titles worth of games that SonicFox is is just the best player. So how can Ninja get to solidifying himself as the GOAT over SonicFox? Guaranteed, Ninja needs to win this summer's EVO. Just like any other sport, we talk about Michael Jordan having all the rings. We talk about Tom Brady, all the rings. SonicFox has 3 EVO wins in 2 different titles, and NinjaKilla only has 2, one of them being online, but it was only in 1 title. Winning this EVO coming up would get NinjaKilla to 3 rings. Although 2021 EVO Online, there are multiple ring holders, that'll still be 3, and nobody can claim, oh, Sonic has more EVO gold medals in Mortal Kombat. So that's step 1. And then step 2 would be winning Final Kombat. That's the final stop of the Pro Tour, where players are going to have to qualify through offline placements at the 4 tournaments. You have to make 3 of them. And then there's a bunch of online pro comp that also counts for your points. Ninja needs to win Final Kombat on top of EVO, and then it would be one of the hardest discussions I've ever had in my entire life. Like, I know there would still be arguments for Sonic, being like Sonic is 3 titles worth of being good, but that's where you shut it down if you win both EVO and, you know, Final Kombat. Essentially, Ninja sweeps all the major tournaments, so then it would be reasonable to think Sonic was only really successful in MKX and MK11, and then Ninja has MK11 and MK1. It's really tough. When you just look at the resume outright, it's clear it's Sonic right now, but it would get really tricky if Ninja takes both of those. I don't know what I would say at that point. I really don't. That one would, it would shock me. Like, I'd probably have like a whole 8-hour stream just discussing with chat, trying to come up with who's actually the GOAT at that point. I think you would just have to respect the legacy of Sonic enough, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss here. Shoot. Maybe if that happens, we should have NinjaKilla and Sonic play each other in MKX, MK11, and MK1, and best 2 out of 3 that. So yeah, NinjaKilla was absolutely amazing for our scene. Completely changed the game entirely. I'm so happy because, again, we need an all-star to come up and challenge our reigning champ. Definitely one of the most creative, best streamers I've seen. I just think at this point in time, SonicFox still carries the crown, but it could get hectic here this summer. Let's see. I'm excited for it.